This is known as the break hold set, which is just breaking grips, but also allows us to practice the chinna, which is seizing, and the joint locking that's in place. Okay, so 6x2s, two lows, is low straight, low cross, high straight, high cross, high and low. So again, low straight.
And the straight, because it's the same side. If we're in the mirror, I'm reaching straight out and I've grabbed him on this side.
And this is low cross, high straight, high cross.
So the low straight, your opponent grabs, we tansao up. We can break here, but for the drill, we actually want to apply more power through this. So we tansao, we take a step, the other hand packs, and we strike. So the energy is coming up through the body, through all of this, which helps really break hold of this. We actually don't want to grab the wrist, it's packing and striking as we come through. We're bridging up, but we're going to pin to keep that grip in place. And then we're twisting. We've also got a bit of a wrist lock here, and then we push down the arm bar.
And do these kind of gently. I always remember a young girl in class who was saying, her father said, the granny didn't tap. Don't do that.
No.
So then if we're doing low cross, across the body to the inside, I'm going to clamp. I'm going to, imagining there's a pin here and I pivot in this place, stepping in with the elbow. I can then step here. I'm not muscling my way through or pushing straight, going against his force. I'm literally twisting. This is where the weak spot in his grip is. So I'm actually, this part of my forearm is coming out in that position. So I'm imagining there's like a bolt going right through. I'm going to clamp here, strike. And that clamp is really useful. I'm not just gripping here, because if I want, I can turn that then into a wrist lock, which actually then can be straight up and straight down. But for simple stage, clamp, stepping in with the elbow, coming in, or a knife hand. This is to the inside. To the outside, different stages of this, like when we do our dragon yawning set. I'm going to just coon out around. Now look, his wrist is already, the grip is breaking.
I don't really have a whole lot of control here.
Yeah, I could. And if I simply want to break, like that, I'm going to bring it to this point of weakness and then just break. If I want, I'm going to bring it to here. I'm now going to pull this straight down. And you can also see that once I've actually brought this here, an extra piece is if I pinned here, and now once I come down, it's a very painful wrist lock.
Pressure all across here. There's a mistake that people sometimes make with this one, where they're not quite getting this breaking contact for the wrist. If you only tansao, it doesn't have that weakened point. If you tan and then it's like you're waving to the opponent now at this point, there's a whole lot less control.
And the other part is this is fine if I want to break it, but if I want to apply the lock, this hand can't go anywhere, so I keep it seized up. I bring that up, and
that's already even starting to.
And again, just the recap: inside, outside.
So the high straight from here, if I'm breaking free on the inside, I taxao, I'm putting again, stepping through, get a little bit of power, and then driving through with heel palm. Heel palm for the sake of safety in a drill. From the outside, I thread arm, which can already actually break it, but for the sake of gaining control, I want to jut down, pin at my hip, and then apply the arm bar. And again, when working for safety with your partner, you don't want to do this really fast. You actually want to just apply it in a way that's safe for them and working with their ability. If they can take a bit of resistance, good, but you don't want a broken arm.
Yeah, and also doing these kind of lightly enough that you'll end up with too many bruises on your arms and you won't like it. So
it'll look like this.
High cross. So to the inside, similar to the low cross, I'm going to actually pin coming into the inside. So I've twisted over. This is the weak spot now. So I'm actually going to step here again. There are a multitude of other locks that are available to you. To the outside, I'm going to do so. This is the weak spot I'm not fighting against the strength of his grip. I'm going, here's where it's weak, so how do I get my hand out there? I'm going to rest my hand over like this, and I'm going to just shoot it out through that gap as I control here, and then return in with a ridge hand. So again, elbow here, and loose on top, turning to the outside, striking it in.
Just turn around to see that detail.
Yeah.
You can see the weak point here, that these fingers just cannot resist the force going back through there.
Whipping out as I control this arm here, bang in, okay, and then out and strike. Yeah. So again, outside, out, inside, grabbing. Yeah. So high double, there's a lot of different ones I can do exactly like I've done on the inside. I don't even need to get past all of them. I can pack sow and heel pan straight in. I can shoot straight through and into control. There's also other things I can do. I can pull back and jutsu, so if he grabs, I can down. Like this is, once I've gotten to here, his grip isn't so good. So actually just coming around on the jutsu. Same way if his hands are, if he grabs a low straight, I can come up here. This is where he's not strong. I can either just push straight in, or I can grab an arm and pull it out through that gap, and then back in.
There's a lot of mechanics here to get familiar with, and it'll only really be useful for you when it becomes muscle memory. If you're having to think about how to apply technique, you're probably not going to get out of it safely. But what's a really useful, just very basic one, is what Patrick's just showed there, that if somebody ever grabs your hand, a very simple way out is to grab them together and pull, because there's so much more resisting force there than in his one arm.
Totally. And same even if he grabs on top. It's surprisingly sore to just angle my hand down on top of his hand. But even if he grabs as strongly as he wants, it doesn't take me a huge amount of strength to just put that pressure right down here. In particular, if I went like so.
Yeah, understanding some fundamental mechanics around weak points in the body and just being able to actually safely get out of grips.
Stepping down with 2 hands straight in, strike. So again, my arms just shoot straight up into dance there. Boom.